Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Straight Talk. In this episode, we're here at our Istanbul office with Fazal Dasankop. Fazal, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Alatin. It's my pleasure. First of all, right off the bat, I'd like to thank you for giving me this opportunity
Thank you.
to come to Property Turkey and have this session with you. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Fazal. You're so kind. Fazal, today I'd like to talk a little bit about your journey of becoming a Turkish citizen through the property route, buying a property. You worked with our company and you've been there and done that. And congratulations, you're a Turkish citizen now.
Thank you.
And I'd like to talk about your process a little bit so that our audience can see and understand for themselves what were, some of the good parts and how you have navigated your way around getting the passport and what were some of the things that they need to consider and etc. So before we start doing that, can we get to know you a little bit?
Just to introduce myself,
Right.
I grew up in India.
Mhm.
My early years were there. After I finished my college there, I moved to United States into the city of Tampa, Florida.
Mhm.
Got my MBA in finance and marketing.
Right.
And since then, I've taken the career of investment advisor, portfolio manager, and I've been successfully able to build a good
Mhm.
clientele,
Mhm.
and which gives me the freedom to live across the world, especially post-COVID, because of having the technology helping us doing that.
Mhm.
And wherever I go, I think I look at what can I do to contribute to that community, to that country, and to that society. So
Mhm.
I'm coming with that thought process,
Right.
and I'm proud to be now a Turkish citizen.
Right. It's beautiful. Fazal, talk to me. Walk us through about your thought process of deciding that you wanted to become a Turkish citizen. How did the idea come about?
I think the journey was more to find an environment where I can be a lot more peaceful, more of an Islamic environment,
Mhm.
Islamic culture. And I think that kind of gave me the opportunity to find property in Turkey.
Why Turkey? Is it because is it only because of the CBI program that it offers, or was it appealing to you as a country, as a society, as a location?
I think all the above.
Mm.
All the above. I think if I was going to be more of a global citizen and finding a spot right in the middle of the world, Istanbul geographically, really
Mhm.
historically and geographically has that appeal. And just to kind of share, I think it was the Islamic culture,
Mhm.
the food, the people, the environment, the beauty of this country, and just traveling across Turkey and experiencing that, I just want to keep coming back. And so I think it's really a good, happy medium
Mhm.
and experiencing this new culture. It's new to us. And obviously, I think it's really refreshing. And it's something that when you just go out on the street, we feel alive. We feel the weather's conditions, the climate, everything, just having the view of the Bosphorus River, seeing all the boats, the hustle bustle. And one thing to add on the culture side, it was my wife grew up in a big city.
Mhm.
So one of the things that she wanted to do, she says, Fazal, we need to find a place in a cosmopolitan city.
Mhm.
So I think that also was a little background that we are working on to find a place that we can take the ferry, take the metros, take the buses and all that, which we don't have that much in Tampa, Florida, because there
Mhm.
we're just driving everywhere. So all that is fun and exciting, and that culture and meeting people and talking to them is just charges up.
Yeah. You have so far only been exposed to Istanbul, right?
Traveled just a little bit. And like I was just mentioning to you, I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to traveling to other parts of.
Oh, so you're
of-
going to take a road trip now
yes,
down
yes,
to Bodrum,
yes,
through
down
Bursa
to Bodrum,
and
Bursa,
Izmir.
Izmir.
the beautiful
Yes,
highway
yes,
and
yes,
the
yes, yes.
oh,
We're
okay.
looking forward to that this trip.
Yes.
Yeah,
And I think you should, because one thing is very important, Fazal, to understand the Turkish culture. Foreigners, when they move to Istanbul, this is their sample group. You know, they base everything on, oh, okay, this is what Turks do because that's what I've seen in Istanbul.
correct.
But Istanbul, although, yes, it's the biggest city in Turkey, but there are far more other aspects of our culture as you go down to Anatolia and, smaller cities and everything. Because Istanbul, at the end of the day, is just like any other big city, be it New York, Mumbai, or London, or like anywhere else. That big city life, the busy, the hustle and bustle and everything. But the real culture shows itself when you step out of the mainstream and go into those smaller cities and see the nature and see the people. There, you will find, believe me, much more similarities between the Indian culture and the Turkish culture.
Mhm.
Because you will experience this when you're driving to Bodrum, when you meet the locals. The way they talk, the way their hospitality, the way they offer you food, the way they look at you and talk to you, even tonation, the way we get married and the code of marriage. Our weddings, for example. There's you will see a lot of resemblance, and from that perspective, let me elaborate on this. You have actually talked about the sweet spot, Turkey being on the sweet spot, because you have India, where it's culture, vibrance, traditions, and everything. And then you have the Western societies like America. It's very individualistic. Everything is very programmed and structured.
Sure.
And then you have Turkey. It's a middle. It's like a middle ground. From an Indian Muslim perspective, how was your adaptation to the Turkish society, and how do you think people from your background would be able to adapt to this society compared to the Western ones?
Probably one of the easiest adaptation. And especially growing up again in India, I think we, as Muslims in India, we were longing to be in an Islamic environment. And of course, living in a Western society, we're fortunate that we have the freedom of worship and all that in India, in US. And I think that kind of fits very well. If, for example, if some of my friends either from India or from US want to move to Istanbul, I would highly encourage them in doing that, because of if one is seeking that environment, the culture, the Islamic environment, I think this is perfect. Can't beat that in that sense. The freedom to worship, the freedom to travel, doing what, one can enjoy life. And I think this is a very good, strategically situated place to consider.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Let's talk a bit more about the dynamics and the methodology of becoming a Turkish citizen, and in your experience as a client of Property Turkey. So you have seen us, you've reached out to us. You were actually one of the followers of the show yourself.
Correct.
And you have texted me.
Correct.
And how did events unfolded after that?
It's one of the most interesting journey I've had. Of course, there's a lot of nightmarish experiences people have had buying property in Turkey, Istanbul. We actually met a lady that someone took her money and kind of disappeared and never got any property. So those are the extreme cases. And in my case, I feel so fortunate that I was following you.
No, thank you.
I already became a fan of you right from the start, as
You're
you
so
were,
kind.
And I felt that. Just the way you were communicating, I think this is the right person to really, if I'm considering buying property, this is the person I should start communicating with.
Oh, thank you.
So I followed you for about 2-3 months prior to that. And then I started making the initial contact with you. And if you remember, I think we talked many times, and you were searching for many different properties for
Oh,
me.
yes.
And the only thing I stated to you was, Alatan, find me a property that you would buy for yourself.
Yes, I remember.
And I put my entire faith and trust in you, and you have delivered more than beyond expectation. And I really, from the bottom of my heart,
Thank you,
thank
Fazal.
you for that. I think you brought the best product for me. And because of that journey, interestingly, that I had never done a transaction like that sitting in India, transferring
you wired
money.
the money online.
I transferred all the money online. So that level of trust, I was able to build up with you, because that's really, I had never met you, but I was able to trust you to transfer my money. Some of my friends are saying,
are you crazy?
Are you crazy?
Yeah.
But fortunately, when you do discover good people, I think I was fortunate in that respect.
You came in for the first time to see your property after you purchased the property.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I bought the property in June. I believe I came here in October.
Yeah, true. And I remember I took you to the project and I showed you the property. Describe me your first experience of seeing the property of what you bought, because I'm sure prior to seeing the actual property, you must have, at the back of your mind, maybe you must have some, concerns as like, okay, I bought something, but, based on certain pictures, and you really didn't care much about the pictures, as if all I said was, Fazal, this is a good deal, let's go for it.
That's right.
How was that process of you seeing your property for the first time?
I was amazed as to what kind of work you had done. It was a beautiful corner, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and clear view. There's no obstruction in front of that. I could see the big tower there in front, and modern, beautiful place. And what really also was interesting, it had everything. It had indoor swimming pool, outdoor swimming pool, the gym with the boxing rings, and I learned that you're also a former.
I own an apartment in the same compound.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
that's right.
Yeah.
See, you put your mouth where you put your money where your mouth is. Right. Yeah, exactly. You have skin in the game.
And it's if I am to talk a little bit about the specific area and why we have chosen that area, is the name of the area is Fikirtepe, which is a prime urban regeneration zone of Istanbul. The urban regeneration in Fikirtepe is about to be completed in the next 2 years, I think, when all the towers that are under construction now, when they are all complete, that neighborhood is going to look awesome. Because what they're doing there is they're not just building buildings and projects. They're also building new roads, new tunnels, new highways, new green areas, new recreational areas, parks and shopping malls and everything. It's a true regeneration. It's not a restoration of knocking down the old one and building up the same thing. No, they are generating a neighborhood at the very heart of Istanbul. And from that perspective, that area is my personal favorite area. I always buy properties there, always. As an investor, and this is what I always say to people who are buying properties for capital appreciation, people who set investment as their anchors. I always tell them, look, buy the ugly ducklings of today that are going to be the swans of tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Because if it's already nice and beautiful, that there's a lot of demand and hustle and bustle, the price is already appreciated anyway. But if you're buying something for citizenship, investment, and you're going to keep the property, and after 3 years, you're going to get your money back with an appreciation, and you want to use and utilize the place from time to time, then it's okay to be in an area where it's developing.
Just to add a few things to what you were mentioning, I think coming back to why Property Turkey is who I chose to work with.
Right.
Your systems that you've developed in Property Turkey, I really appreciate, especially for a foreign buyer, because you have been able to link yourself with attorneys, custodian accounts, the level of trust. The money just doesn't go into just a third party. It's going into a custody account with LP Legal was who we used as the attorneys, and they work beautifully in terms of helping transfer money, taking care that role that we can put trust in, because everything is coming through an attorney. And that was really a good situation to have, which gives us a lot of trust to transfer money, because it's not going directly to some third party. It was going
Right.
to your own account with a custodian, which is a legal firm. And the third aspect of it was the after-sales process. The after-sales process and the rental part of it was also handled by Property Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So not only from the sales perspective, from the legal aspect and the safety of transferring monies, coming through the legal channels, and having the property being managed by Property Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking actually forward for the next stage with you guys. Once I occupy the property, we'll look at your designing team to help us design our little home here in Turkey, in Istanbul. So.
Yeah, that would be
I don't know if
lovely.
I answered your question. I might have deviated a little bit, but
No.
I just wanted to...
I mean, that's a perfect thing, and that is exactly what the audience would like to know. Because at the end of the day, I think about last year, you was exactly where they are now. They were watching a YouTube channel with an idea to be able to move into that country one day, buy a property, end up being a citizen. But the process looks a little complicated. They don't know who to talk to and how to buy, and some of the challenges that they might face and everything. So it's a great thing that you were able to summarize everything and your journey into buying it. And also, thank you very much for bringing the design thing up. Here at Property Turkey, we're a group of companies. So it's not just the real estate agency that we have. We try to handle the legal side of things, the property management side of things, the construction, the design, marketing and sales operation. And now we have established our own asset management company for clients.
Very interesting. I'd like to know more about it.
Thank you. For clients who have invested substantial amount of monies and ended up buying multiple properties, obviously they need these assets to be managed. There is the rental side of things. There is the exiting side of things as well. Because once you have a client that purchases 10, 20, 30 properties over a certain time period, and after some time, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, some of those assets do mature. And when the assets come to the level of maturity, you need to exit those assets and enroll the investment into a new opportunity. So we were able to create a group of investors. We call it the Investor Club. And with the asset management company, through REITs, Real Estate Investment Trust, we have created a structured, regulated, audited, and a tax-free way of doing all of those things.
Wow.
Because being able to sell an asset after 5 years, if you sell an asset after 5 years, you're subject to capital appreciation tax, which can go anywhere from 22 to 30, 40%. Then there is the income tax aspects of it. And it saves the entire hustle and bustle, and it securitizes the assets as well. If you're a family, you can collectively own an equal portion of that entire chunk of assets that are in Turkey. The realm of funds is an enchanting world, and it's an exciting world that we have been working on for the past 2.5 to 3 years. We were able to obtain all of our licenses, and we're looking forward to offer that to our clientele so that they have this structured way of investing in Turkey in a long term. It's a combination of everything, and everything comes out of the need of the clients. We design and develop whatever they need.
So is there like a minimum investment that you can put into this REIT, or how does that work as far as from the investment perspective?
We have a couple types of real estate investment trusts that we are operating. We have the general fund that we call it the PTIF.
Okay.
And if you're a qualified investor, after going through a certain background check and certain meeting certain criterias, you can invest and buy the units of that particular fund that we are operating. In other words, the shares of that fund. So that is our fund that we do buy and sell properties, and we do invest in Turkish real estate. What happens eventually is the value of the share goes up. Just like owning a share, you can own a piece of that fund. Also, if you have substantial amount of investments and assets that have been invested here, we can form a REIT, a real estate investment trust, only for you and for your assets, and we can manage that with an investment strategy that works for you. And again, there are similar other ways of creating the funds, but mainly for the real estate aspect, these are the two ways of people can be involved in the funds.
It's really refreshing to know that Property Turkey is onto so many different things.
Right.
And I'm familiar with REITs from the US perspective of investing in REITs and how they operate. And it's nice to see that Property Turkey is moving in that direction, because it gives, as my understanding of REITs, it gives you the diversification.
True.
It gives you a minimum amount of investment that you can put in, and it could be fairly liquid if possible. So I think these are good avenues for people that are looking to invest into real estate and create a portfolio without owning one single property. So
Right.
I think it's a very good idea, and I think there's a huge demand for it. At least we see that in the US. I mean, and as long as the returns are good, I think people will follow the investment. So I think you're on to something very, very interesting and good. And I'm really happy to know that. And hopefully in the near future, we can participate in that.
Sure. And you can end up being a Turkish citizen. If you invest over 500,000 US dollars into a fund, you can qualify for the citizenship.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good.
And that's just another way of getting and acquiring the citizenship.
And you're talking about Fikirtepe. I can just let you know, I know you guys have an office right in Fikirtepe also.
We do, yeah.
And my visit to Fikirtepe office also led me to find out how substantially my asset has appreciated to the tune of within a year to about 80%, which I'm really more than pleased. Thanks to you.
Well, thank you very much.
And really, I don't know if that's the norm, but I think my timing was good. My timing was good. And I feel very fortunate,
Oh, thank you.
And that's why I think we have grown also to be very good friends. The bonding is increasing, and hoping to build those opportunities together, So.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely not the norm.
No,
as
I
you would expect.
understand. I know. I'm fortunate.
We were just able to, because you remember what we've done at that particular time. We were making a bulk purchase.
Right.
And your unit was one of those bulk purchases, and we have landed a really good price, and we were able to outperform an already crazily upward trend. That's why we were able to get that appreciation. That is not the appreciation that I can promise to any of the audience. I would always like to stay on
my side of the story.
Thank
right?
you.
Okay.
But I would always like to stay on the conservative side of things.
Yes, word of caution.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
not everything goes the way it has gone, but
Right. It's not easy to replicate. But I'm really happy that the appreciation was there at the end of the day. So, Fazal, are there any other things that you'd like to mention regarding the process, or maybe an advice to those who are watching us now who are thinking about starting on their journey?
I think I can only share my experience, and it's been a great experience. Of course, there's always some few things that maybe from the rental aspect, tenant aspect, we have to be a little cautious in how to handle that, but all those can be resolved. Besides that, I think, being truly a Turkish citizen, I think the timing could have not been any better, because we got our citizenship just a day before the elections were going on here. I didn't get to vote this time, but we were able to participate in a rally that was happening in Sultan Ahmet area, and where we got chance to see Erdogan doing his prayers between Maghrib and Isha. And it was a quiet period. And I happened to be inside the mosque in Hagia Sophia. And outside, my wife has already had the bandana and the Turkish flags and all that. So we got a little taste of really being
the celebration,
a Turkish citizen right just the next day, and participating in the crowd, and so much appreciation we got from the crowd saying, wow, you guys just turned citizens, and some people had come all the way from Australia and all that just during this election time. So it was really exciting.
Fazal, thank you very much for joining. It has been an amazing discussion and valuable points as well. There was a lot of value in the things that you have said. And people who are watching us, I'm sure they will be able to appreciate the amount of information and the experience that you have been through. So thank you for joining. And are there any last words?
The last word is, if anyone is looking to buy property, I think this is a proven methodology that you guys have created in Property Turkey. So I think you have a great team set in. So I think if you're looking for property in Istanbul or any part of Turkey, I think you're coming to the right outfit in Property Turkey. I'm not getting paid for this, but I really sincerely giving you the advice that my experience has been really wonderful.
Thank you.
And if someone wants to follow this path, I would highly recommend doing so. And Alatan, thank you for being such a great friend, and the bonding that we have created.
These days, I'm really busy, so I can't devote so much time, because the past 4 times you traveled here, I was able to, devote to time. But this time, I would like to apologize myself that the schedule has been just extremely busy, and I wasn't able to spend enough time. Therefore, I use this as an excuse of spending time, business and spending time at the same time. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so I'd like to see you more on the show as well from time to time, and we have different podcasts as well. If you come and join, that would be perfect. So
absolutely,
thank you very much for joining.
Alatan, I think I'm proud of you. The new role that you're going to be going into does require a lot of time, focus, energy, and as a friend, no problem. I think we'll look for, when things are better, we'll get more time to spend with you. But I appreciate this opportunity to sit down for more than an hour at least, or what time we spent, has been really thrilling for me, sharing my experiences, meeting good people like you, and enjoying Istanbul and enjoying Turkey. Looking forward to my travel now.
You're a true friend, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Where are you? Yeah. Okay. All right. Guys, thank you very much for watching. With this number, you can reach out to us, and hopefully see you in the next episode.